Hey everybody, how are you? We're back. You might be thinking, who is this? Have they moved rooms? No, we've just literally realised that because of the natural light coming in from that way, that why fight nature, and let's just get the natural light to work for us. Mikaela, how do you think?
True. So much better.
I think so.
I was always in the dark. You always got the good light. You always had facing the light.
I've always got the good light.
And then I looked atrocious, but it's okay. We didn't talk about it.
Looked atrocious. Everyone, this is the first episode we've put out since we did our cute little Instagram post of us on a night out on the town, mum and dad without the kids kind of vibe. And we just want to like do a little bit of a, what do they call it? A life check or
what
do you do that? It's a
life chitty chat.
Life chitty chat. Yeah, we just want a proof of life. We wanted just to be a proof of life that we're not being held hostage. We're alive.
We're here.
We're here. We're thriving. We've got a lot of exciting things to talk about. We won't talk about them in detail because this is a Sunday. It's raining a lot. It's actually a really beautiful day.
It's actually Australia is flooding again.
Yeah. Surprise, surprise. So we just want a little bit of an update on where we are. You can see the new camera from the new iPhone that we bought and claimed for the business. So, I mean, that's really going well.
Yeah.
Behind you in the cupboard that you can't see, that you used to be able to see actually, is a A3 printer.
Oh,
so we now have A3 printing and
coming up in the world.
printing and scanning
capabilities.
You said competencies.
We've been out of touch with the podcast.
We have
so we need to learn how to speak again.
But for a reason. So first of all, favourite segment. How are you going?
Far out.
I'm going really good.
I don't even know how to answer that anymore. My life, full on.
Woo!
Okay.
No, do you know what I love trying to figure out is when people say it's all downhill from here, is that a bad thing or a good thing? Because like if you're riding a bike, all downhill from here is like great.
Easy peasy.
But if you think of like the stock market, all downhill from here is not. I don't know why I'm resting my arm like this. Is a very I'm a bit of a Patrick Bateman American Psycho move. It's blocking my face.
Yeah, look, it's a bit intense, but it's okay.
It is a little bit. What's that other podcast? Life of Seagulls.
Oh, Diary of a Sea.
Thank you. So yeah, it's like it's just going. Like
I'm
life's
alive.
Going. Yeah. Proof of life.
Proof of life. No, it's just, I don't know. It's all a bit up in the air. I feel like my life's like, who knows?
Well, do you want to kick off with like the big announcement about what your new work life looks like, I guess?
I think that's probably obviously my biggest change in my life. So
apart from my hair, obviously.
But obviously, no, nothing's changed there.
It's been a couple of months since we recorded an episode though.
Has it?
Yeah.
Gosh,
like I think the last, everybody, this is going to be behind the scenes. I think the last time we recorded an episode was August.
Whoa.
It's been a while. We had a few banked up.
Well, it's been a hot minute.
I think it was Prawn or Lollipop was our last episode, which was
air fryer.
Everybody, honestly. I'd like to apologise. That was a bit of a train wreck of an episode, especially in editing. But you know what? That's fine.
You live your life.
That's fine. What a way to debut season 3.
Right? No. Okay. Backtracking to August. Okay. So I'm sure all you guys are aware, we used to work together at HAL Architects, which is architecture practice.
I don't know if we've ever named them.
You've said HAL.
I have. Okay. So HAL Architects.
I don't think they could put 2 and 2 together with architects on the end of it.
Googling my LinkedIn.
So we worked at an incredible architecture practice I was there for 8 years. You were there for 5 years.
5 and a bit, yeah.
5 and a bit.
5 years when you left, and it was 5 and 3 months when I left. It was exactly
so sorry, guys,
5 years.
5 and a bit.
I'm going to read out the speech I wrote at Mikaela's going away.
Okay. Oh, that was...
It was a good one.
Got it. Got a bit of a tip.
Bit of a Hollywood tip.
Bit of a Kim K CGI tip.
Just an obvious cut, and I'm like getting an eyedropper and just like dashing it in.
Yeah, so obviously we worked there. That's how we met. Then we started the podcast even back in those days. August?
I think we started the podcast because I was worried that you were going to quit earlier in the piece, and my prophecy came true, but it was about 4 months later.
Yeah. 4 months. Like...
Oh, no, it was more than that. It was like nearly a year.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, calm your
Well, so that was, I mean, for everyone in the behind the scenes, like Yeah, I think the reason we started the podcast was Mikaela was looking at other opportunities at one point, and I was like, "Gee, how do
better lock her down?"
Yeah, how do I? Yeah, she's already married, so I can't lock her down that way. So I'll just start a podcast and put a lot of like pressure on her.
Down.
Yeah.
So anyway, we started the podcast, loved that, and then I guess I was just getting a bit restless in my career, wanted to like do something different. So then when did I actually leave? April? May?
Beginning of May.
May. I left that architecture practice, went to a different job in the city, doing something a bit different, doing commercial spaces instead of multi-res or residential, not in an architecture practice, in like a D&C company, so design and construct company. Started there. I didn't get too far in until I realised that it wasn't for me.
Yep. You were missing the spark that you got from the more resi side of things.
Yeah, and the client contact and like it was too different, and not in like push yourself and do something different into like I don't want to be doing
like
this
I
different.
actually don't speak this language.
This isn't me.
And I have no desire to learn to speak this language. I'm not sitting on Duolingo.
I just missed the design. I missed designing instead of just managing, which I do get joy from management side of things.
Oh, she's a micromanager, everybody.
I'm not a micromanager at all. Only if they're doing it wrong.
Well, I mean, it's the only other employee. No, I don't know who that's directed at.
No, so yeah, obviously missed the design component. And then I was like, hold on, I can fix this. I'll get Lachlan to come over. And then best of both worlds. Like, who cares about what you're actually doing day to day? You've got your buddy. You got your buddy, so it's fine. So then I dragged your ass over.
Drag his ass.
Drag his ass. No, I convinced you. I took it.
For a sea change.
Yeah. And I was like, no, come on over. It'll be so fun. You'll love it. You'll absolutely love it. And I think it was the week you came for your like secondary interview, and I'm like, I hate it. I want to get out. But you can totally start here.
Totally stay. I think the other thing that's really odd timing was when you made that move, like pretty much the week that you were kind of like, this isn't really firing on all cylinders to me. A sign from above came, and we actually got hit up by like our first actual private clients.
Yeah.
So that has now led us to the point. I'm still at that place because I'm thriving.
Oh, well, technically like our first joint client came in. So I already had I had my own like private clients on the side that I was doing with a full-time job, and it was just, it was getting a bit much, and it felt like I was working 24/7. So that's why I don't think I was enjoying the role either. But
that could have played a part of it.
Yeah, played a huge part. But
I may have shot myself in the foot, but I'm just going to say it was just the difference in work.
So that coincided with like you starting at this new job.
Yep.
Me not enjoying the new job, and then getting all these amazing opportunities to do some private work and do some architectural work, interiors work. And then it just honestly kind of accelerate.
It's now at the stage where it's kind of somehow through luck or hard work or the potty, who knows, the podcast as a design consultancy is now Mikaela's full-time job.
Yeah.
Which is wild to think that like literally a year ago we were doing this as a job full-time for someone else.
Yeah.
And we've now built the podcast and all the other bits and pieces into a thing that is now a full-time job for Mikaela, where I don't know, it's very, very strange being like, oh, we can do this.
Yeah,
like it's like that big leap of faith where you're like, oh, I don't know how I feel about this.
I think it was always like that safety blanket of, oh, this is just what I do for fun. And it's on the side, and like I do this every day. It's easy peasy. It's bread and butter. And then when you actually start like working with clients and being like, this is my name, this is my designs.
Yeah.
I can manage expectations, projects, clients the way that I want to do it, and you give as much time and energy as you want to, and it doesn't feel like you're working late or doing extra hours or working on a weekend, or I think like pretty much most of the time, because obviously you've still got a full-time job in the city, that obviously we can only meet our clients on the weekends and after hours, and like to me that's
It's not
a
for
job.
you.
Like that's
yeah.
no, like that's not a job. I don't feel like that's like, oh my God, it's on a Sunday. I'm like, yeah, cool. We're meeting our clients because like that's exciting. Like it's a different mindset, a very different mindset from working for someone and then working for yourself.
I think the other thing is having that direct relation. Like we are, because we're two people, we are everything. We are billing. We are
admin,
we're accounts. We're doing all the bits and pieces. We're actively looking for a bookkeeper. If anyone is out there that wants to like become the official bookkeeper, grab the tray, set us up.
I've already got leads. I didn't tell you.
Same thing. Like if there's anyone out there that's like a structural engineer and wants to be like our preferred guy or person or team, like hit us up. Like
consults.
Because we're in this thing where we're like, well, we set a certain energy and tone. We've got an amazing town planner that we used to work with at HL who is our like point of contact for most of those things now. So it's like, why not turn what's just you and I and the energy we've got? Why can't we bring that to every aspect of what we offer as a service and just be that link? Yeah. So yeah, the exciting bit is Mikaela is now for Grab the Trace.
Woohoo.
And yeah, I don't know. It's freeing in a way because
beyond.
You are like, you're just you, and like you could be doing so many other things.
Tagline.
Like
you're just you.
We wanted to also like give an update that there will eventually be content on this house renovation we're working at New Farm.
Yep.
We just want to kind of get all the bits and pieces sorted. Like they've already started doing parts of the demolition already, which is so
exciting. You guys
super
are gonna
exciting.
Love this project.
It's a very unique brief as well in terms of what we're actually trying to do, and we've went out this morning. We've met with the clients and they're fully happy for us to share the journey. It's just
again coming from most of our podcast episodes is like we tried to obviously communicate our knowledge as best as we could without talking about clients or projects, because that wasn't our clients, it wasn't our information to give. So being able to actually take you guys along for the ride and be able to actually like show photos and show floor plans and show designs and schedules and actual specifications and like without
why we did something.
And be able to explain it from the horse's mouth, say. Yeah. Instead of like, oh, we can't talk about this client, we can't talk about this project, we can't take photos, we can't show you work because that's not our work. Yeah. We don't own it. So now we own it and we can show you guys, and that's really exciting.
It is
really fun.
I think that was the thing when a while ago we were talking with, and this might have been like maybe 6 months ago, like where we used to do the potty on a Thursday night or a Wednesday night, and we were all having dinner after, and I think your husband Brock said the key thing for you guys is going to be like owning the content, not just doing inspiration grams of other people's things, but like you are the inspiration gram, you are the ones creating the floor plans, all that kind of stuff. That's
when we can, I guess, mold together a project and our knowledge, and then you actually get the backstory of why we did things, why we chose things, what was best for our client, and then all the reasonings behind that, instead of being like, oh, well, we don't know if the client wanted this for this project, but like I don't like this detail, or like, oh, I would have done this differently, but then you don't know the context behind it because it's not your client, where we can give you all that background knowledge.
We can.
And I feel like that justifies decisions and actually gives the listeners and the viewers the knowledge to make those decisions for your own circumstances. Yeah,
because like a lot of the stuff we did was brand new builds or renovations to houses that not many people live in, where this house in particular is, you could see it anywhere across Brisbane. Yeah. Like even out where I live, like
it's a full like suburban, a classic or traditional suburban house.
Yep. It's a post-war house that doesn't necessarily have any like character Queensland related
it's not a
features.
But the location's
out of this world.
The budget for this is really healthy.
But like used in an interesting way. Yeah. Like there's some really good challenges that we're working through overcoming.
Yeah,
like,
I'm in the sense of like not like a really good budget for that sense, but more so that it's not just like, oh, well, we painted this room. Like you can actually see some very
we're moving walls.
Yeah,
we're moving walls where
a very decent before and after, and the opportunities. And there was like, instead of when you have a very limited budget, you're really restricted with like what you can achieve and what you can do. And then you're retaining a lot of what's there, where when you have the freedom and the flexibility to move walls, and we're doing like a whole new staircase. Like we're actually demolishing
the existing stair.
Yeah, like so much. Like every room is getting demoed. We're removing the stairs. We're replacing every single window and door. We're transforming every single bathroom.
Yeah, it's a bit.
We're doing brand new kitchen, all new cabinetry. We're installing fireplaces. Like it's, we're doing a lot.
We're doing a lot. We're trying to.
Doing an extension to the front.
Especially even from like an architectural point of view. Like just so everyone at home, I think we might have done this in art when we did like a general overview of the house with like heights and things. So we've got raked ceilings. We've got portions of ceiling that are at 2.4 meters is like the general ceiling height. The floor thickness is like 250 mil, which is like 150 mil thinner than I would usually work with. So what implications does that have for air conditioning? Like how do we get a ducted air conditioning system in? I'm not quite sure yet, but I think I've got an idea.
And this is, correct me if I'm wrong. So it's in a character area. However, the house
is not character.
No. The house was built, it
80s.
looks like 80s.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Was it actually 80s?
I think so, yeah. I think it was in like the early 80s.
It looks like an 80s home, which to me is so good of an opportunity for our listeners because it's such, as you said, like a typical house. Like this could literally be anyone's house in any state, anywhere in Australia.
Yeah, I literally think the suburb next to mine in Ferny Grove, Capera, there's a street that I used to go to one of my friend's house and there's probably 4 or 5 of these on the street.
Yeah.
Like I've seen this house multiple times and it is such a, I don't know, it's a very interesting, like to give the short of it without this spreading onto like an enormous episode is it's not often that in a brief someone will let you take a bedroom out of a house, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And like if you remove a bedroom, what can that give you? Yeah. And what it can give you is like, and I mean not to toot our own horn too much, but you've now got a house that has a ridiculous master like suite setup, like hotel vibes. You've got 2 still really healthy ancillary bedrooms. You've got a master a family bathroom that's like pumping.
Yeah, like, it's great.
For a young family, it's absolutely what they need.
Storage.
Oh, my goodness.
Storage in this house was so important to achieve for our clients. Like we have 2 walk-in linens. We have a whole introduction of new garage storage. We have
storage under the stair.
A new staircase to accommodate a walk-in storage under the stairs. We've doubled
the size of the laundry.
Yep, literally doubled the size of the laundry. Linen cupboards, like storage is king.
We've
doubled the kitchen.
We've swapped the downstairs bathroom into a powder room with a separate ensuite for the guest bedroom.
Yep. Now, again, with renovations, every single renovation or house is going to have its little quirks, I would say. And I think the 3 big quirks that we really have to work with this house to try and improve it is how dark it is.
Yep.
So without obviously like you guys seeing the photos yet of this existing house, but the ceiling and the roof pitch is so steep, but meaning that you've got a really, really steep pitch roof, but then all the downstairs windows are quite short, the ceilings are quite short. So it just doesn't allow for a lot of natural light because instead of having like a shallow pitch roof where all that natural light can come in on the side, it's really, really steep. With
actually pretty healthy eaves as well.
Yeah.
So you're like the internal ceiling height at the edge of these things is 2.1 meters.
Yeah, it does not allow. And then just top it off, like the block slopes down quite a bit. So you've got your block, your street frontage, and then your house sits here. Then you've got a really steep pitch. So you've got like such a minute tunnel of light kind of coming in.
Yep.
So that's kind of our big one. The second one I would say is obviously we have no ceiling or floor, like from floor to floor is really, really shallow, really short. So we don't have high ceilings.
We've got beams that come down at about 2.1 that we can't move.
Yeah, we've got a lot of beams, but our penetrations for our sewer and our water, so we can't move toilets.
Yes.
Yep. So, and I know that doesn't, like most people are like, yeah, that's fine. Like just retile the rooms. But like when you have a real rabbit warren kind of feeling layout, you can't relocate toilets. I think our biggest, I guess, where we spend a lot of our design energy in the floor plan was this laundry, powder room, guest ensuite.
Yeah,
and honestly,
yeah.
to achieve a guest ensuite for our clients, that was really important for guests, but then also to achieve a separate powder room for visiting guests,
Yep.
like that was huge. And they were like, I feel like our clients were stoked with that outcome.
I think so.
Without having to literally core into slabs and
Yeah.
relocate plumbing, and like that could have been such a costly exercise that just wasn't worth it.
That the money can be attributed
Better utilised.
elsewhere and better utilized. Like, I think that's as much of an overview I want
Yeah.
to go into it, because we'll do a whole heap
full-
of episodes. Like, and it's just going to be, it's going to be fun because it is all us. Like where we got to with that apartment renovation we were doing, that was like all hypothetical. And it's funny, it's the exact same suburb as well.
Yeah.
But this is now our new farm gem.
Yeah.
Like pretty much where we paused with that, funnily enough, we paused with that because this started and now this has become an actual.
Oh, can I like, can we, instead of New Farm Gem, the New Farm Villa?
Oh, stop. Well,
It's a
that's
bit
what
of
we're trying
a-
to figure out is like names for it.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking like you and I had the idea of like naming our projects after like plants or whatever. And we were thinking with this one, maybe like olive or like a certain something.
New Farm, oh yeah.
Like-
Oh, it's not really New Farm Olive, but like just
No, but
olive.
like just olive as a name.
Olive
And
is
like there can be
nice.
like multiples of them. It can be like Olive the Second or Olive Two. Or say instead of doing a renovation, like we do the renovation on this and they're like, you know what? We want to make the most out of the block. We want to build the house. So that can be the Olive Residence then. Or like this can be the Olive Renovation.
Olive Grove,
Stop. So
like the spread.
I guess. I'm pretty good, everybody. I know we didn't get back to that because we kind of moved on.
How
but
are
that's
you
fine.
going, Lachlan?
I'm really good. It's
How's the new job?
I enjoy it. I actually do enjoy it more from a point of view of it's less. The reason I'm enjoying it is I'm getting to apply, because architecture is such a broad thing. I
It
get to
really
just
is.
really hone down into another area that I don't have
Well,
a lot of.
it's more management. You're not really
Yeah.
doing like
Well,
architecture.
But even from like a compliance point of view and like problem solving for like office space and stuff, it's all about accessibility. It's all about how to deal with existing conditions, which is exactly what we do with renovations for apartments and houses and stuff. So I think it's a very important thing for me to like get as a skill.
Yep.
And to like kind of wrap my head around and do. And I'm enjoying it at the moment. It's nice to be in a position where it's not just me and a student kind of working through things
Yeah.
at HL, where I've got like my little buddy who's helping me figure out problems, but I've pretty much made all of the decisions anyway. And then kind of getting into more of that client focused side of things, which sometimes I would get pulled away because I was so good at the documentation side of things is,
Righto.
yeah, I know, it's a bit of smoke, isn't it? Because I was so good at that, that's kind of what my role had become towards the end, was just figuring out like big problems without being able to have any of the control over it. So it's nice to get that back,
Yeah.
I guess, while still being able to then once again fill my little cup, bucket, whatever what you want to say,
Bucket?
vessel, gourd, with kind of this goblet with this like little,
Design
like
aspect.
resi design stuff, like being able to stay in touch with that, being able to use like a lot of the things that I learnt previously. And I don't know, there's nothing quite like kind of explaining something to someone and seeing their eyes light up. Like I think the quote that we had today was from the client was, we didn't think that we could do this much with what we had. They were thinking it was going to be a lot less than this in terms of what they would be able to get out of it. Part of that is the initial scope changed because we got their brief. We kind of had a look into it. We gave them a return brief in terms of a design and what we could do. And then it's just molded from there. So if you were to go in and look at this compared to what we were originally looking at doing, it is completely different.
Yeah.
But for all the right reasons.
Yeah. And it's grown very organically.
Yeah.
And all we're doing is like, I think, satisfying their needs as a client and what they want to achieve.
Yeah.
And honestly, the block, the location, like, it's incredible. Absolutely incredible.
It's a triple threat: block, client, and block, client, location. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all of them are working really well together.
Yeah.
And we should have something pretty exciting to share with you in the near future.
Very exciting.
All right. Well, I mean, is there anything else that we wanted to talk about I mean, if you want to do a project with Grab the Trace, whether it be literally you need help picking curtain, or you want to do a bathroom. Say you've got a bathroom, but you just don't know where to start. Like, hit us up. Like, we've got our full like invoicing, quoting thing set up, so we can give you estimates. We can kind of work with you as much or as little as possible. I guess another thing that we're kind of enjoying is because we only work on an hourly rates basis, like you would a lawyer. I mean, we're not the lawyers of design, but you could say that. Is that you can go as far as short, like as few as far. I don't know.
Oh.
You can go as deep into this as you want. Like, you can have us do super high level, like just, hey, here's like some places to point you in the right direction. Do you want us to design a full thing? Or say you're doing all the bathrooms in your house. Do you want us just to design one that someone could then, a builder could pick that up and just apply it to the other two? Or do you want to go the full suite? Do you want us to design all of them so that way you literally hand it to them and you get what you wanted and it's agreed to?
Even just helping with like selections, I find is a big one for people, where they just go, look, I know where everything is going. We're just replacing fittings and fixtures and things like that, especially bathrooms, where to me, you just want to get it right, and you want to get it right once, because every trade is needed. It's expensive. Once you waterproof and tile, like decisions are made. You don't want to kind of get that wrong. But even just helping with like, I just don't know what tile or tapware, or like I just can't picture it all together. Yeah. Maybe you just need some advice and some help, and
like even at
we're here for that as well.
The point, like we're not experts in everything, but like if you send us like, for example, your existing lighting plan for your house, like we can look at, especially if you're doing a renovation or something, we'll be like, hey, using the knowledge, and it's pretty much all the stuff that we've said in our lighting and electrical episode, like you can choose this up. Like maybe you should put a wall sconce here, and like what kind of wall sconce? Maybe this one. Like there's so many things that you can do and use us for. And we're more than happy to. That didn't come out too well, did it?
Design.
We can design for you. We can design a better life for you. I think I read that in a book once. There's so many things that I don't know that we're not. I don't know. That sounds really, really, really lame to say. I'm going to pull back from the edge there.
Okay, good. That's good.
I'm about to cry. No. I don't know. Just hit us up. Like, why not? Give it a roll, and we'll bring all the rest of it to you guys, because whatever someone else is thinking, someone else is definitely going through it at the same time.
Yeah, beyond.
So I think that's it.
Even if you want to just lessen the arguments and fights between husband and wife, I get that too. Do you want us
to play bad cop? Like we'll be the middleman, 100%.
DM me and be like, you got to agree with me. It's like, okay.
Yeah. I'm going to send you a brief. You have to say exactly this. I've actually
had that. I've had that with clients.
Yeah, 100%.
Where, one of the clients like called me and was like, you need to agree with me. I want this tile. He's not agreeing with me. You need to actually agree with me in front of him. And I'm like, I'm not doing that.
Well, I mean, it's an awful tile, but if it was a good tile, you do your research, you're looking at the palette, you'd be like, you're pulling out bits and pieces. No,
that's when you come up with a third option. You're like,
yeah, well, how about this one? The compromise.
Compromise.
And I don't compromise on my own option.
Obviously not.
No, obviously not. So I think that's it, everybody. Yeah. I mean, good to see you all. Good to listen to you all.
It's been a hot minute.
It has been a hot minute.
It's been a hot minute. I've been slack. We've been slack.
Yeah. Well,
we've been busy.
I think you had it right the first time, to be honest with you, but that's fine. I don't know if it was a we issue.
Please.
So we don't know when the next one is. It's probably not going to be a weekly thing anymore, but we'll still be seeing each other pretty much, like talking, doing all these bits and pieces. We've got a few other projects in the pipeline as well.
Yeah, we have so many. It's ridiculous.
It's pretty fun. It's a nice situation to be in, to be wanted. So we'll keep you on the loop with that.
Yes.
We'll keep you up to date on the Instagram. I think I might even put a couple of videos I took in black and white, of course, because I'm artsy. Mm-hmm. Maybe I might do a beige black and white kind of vibe.
A sepia?
Yeah. No, that might look like a cowboy movie. But I'll put a couple of videos up maybe of this house. I took a couple today while we were out there this morning, and then we'll just go from there.
Yeah.
So thank you everybody for listening, tuning in, and we will see, talk, hear from you next time. Feel free to get in touch.
Amazing.
Hit us up on the emails and we'll go from there. DM us. And
amazing.
Let's see if I can hit the right button.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Toodaloo.
Bye.
1, 2, 3. Toodaloo. We've come to the end of another episode. If you have any questions, reach out to us on our Instagram @GrabTheTrace. Following, sharing, leaving a review or a rating is the best way to help the show. Our opening and closing music was created by Robert Hellberg. And whilst we try to help as much as possible, this podcast is of a general nature and won't be able to take into account your individual circumstance. If you need personalised advice, you should engage a relevant professional consultant to help make the best decisions for your situation. Thank you all for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
See you next time.